What's going on, my great smelling dudes? So we are at that time of year, at least where I live, where we're kind of in between seasons. So you get those days that are really cold, but you get those days that are really warm, but you're also more lingering in like the 40 to 60 degree range, at least again where I live. And so I was thinking, what are some good transitional season fragrances? And so today I'm going to give you guys 10 of those fragrances that are great to wear during those months where if it's cold, you can still wear them. If it's warm, you can still wear them. If it's kind of in the middle, you can still wear them. So we got 10 of those. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video where I'm going to be talking about some fragrances. Before we get into it, if you like my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody else, hit that like. Make sure that you put me on the algorithm. Comment below. Let me know some of your favorite transitional season fragrances. And we're going to do a hop, skip, and a jump right into this video, starting off with this one. This one is the original from the line, and I still think it's one of my favorite fragrances. I really like it. As far as designers, it's an easy wear fragrance. It is Valentino's Born in Roma Eau de Toilette. This fragrance, I did a Sephora box where you get 15 decant samples, and me, my wife, and my daughter did blind tests, and it was a tournament, and this one ended up beating out the Aqua de Joe's, even a couple Tom Fords, and it ended up winning, and I bought the bottle. It is salty, mineralic, and it has a little bit of a bubblegum vibe under there. It is fresh, clean, but has a little bit of a warmth and spice to it. It's nice. Again, has almost like a little bit of an aquatic tone because it's salty. It's a salty mineralic fragrance at its core, but it has like that kind of bubblegum texture underneath it. It's not a true bubblegum fragrance like Invictus or anything like that. It's kind of underneath there, but it's more of a salty mineralic fragrance. It is a really nice night out fragrance. It's a really nice date night fragrance. I know women absolutely love this. My wife loves this, but if you want something that's clean, fresh, but also has some warmth to it, then there you go. Valentino, Born in Roma. Doesn't last crazy amount of time. It's like 5 to 6 hours, but still really nice. Spray it on clothes and you're good. The next one is partially discontinued. I mean, it is discontinued, but you can find it on websites every once in a while for about $100. This is Yves Saint Laurent Y Live. Y Live? It's the fruitiest one from the bunch. It was a European exclusive. It looks like YSL Eau de Parfum as far as the bottle's concerned. It's almost like if you dialed down the sweetness from YSL Eau de Parfum, that kind of like heavy sweetness, and replaced it, the citrusiness, with a nice, almost smooth fruitiness to it. I believe it's juniper. I honestly don't remember. Maybe like an apple juniper mix. I can't remember. YSL Y Live. All I know is it's beautiful. And it's one of my favorite Ys. Right now, my favorite is YSL Y Le Parfum. If this smelled like anything, it would kind of be a mix between like YSL Y Le Parfum and the EDP with a fruity tone. Because it has a little bit of a warmth to it. It's nice night out, but it's a really good transitional season fragrance, and it lasts 9+ hours. YSL Y Live. If you haven't tried this one out, it's probably my second favorite in the line. I mean, it's really very, very, very nice. And it's obviously a Y DNA, so it still smells like a Y. It's just if you want like a nice night out, slightly warmer, fruitier version of it, that's what you get. Going into the next one. So this one came out last year. Wasn't a huge fan of it right off the bat, but I never disliked it. I thought it was just average, but it's been growing on me more and more the more I wear it. It is Ralph Lauren Ralph's Club Elixir. Ralph's Club Elixir. It is an iris dominant fragrance. It's definitely a little bit darker and warmer than the other ones in the line. It still has that aromatic tones that you get from the rest of the line, but it's not as youthful or bubblegummy or anything like that like you get from the original Ralph's Club or even the more grown up Ralph's Club Parfum. This one is the most grown up from the line. It has that orris, which is the root of the iris. It is very nice. It has a little bit of a buttery tone to it, but this fragrance is beautiful. It's spicy. It's warm, it's woody, aromatic, and then you have a little bit of a nice spice that works its way underneath there. But this is definitely an iris Oris dominated fragrance, and I think that it's great. It's an aromatic, woody, warm, spicy iris fragrance, and it's really nice. And it's an elixir. As far as pushing out, it is pretty heavy. I would say above average. It's like YSLY EDP projection, and it lasts 10 plus hours. So YSLY or Ross Club Elixir, very, very nice. The next one on my list, I'm not going to go too in depth because you guys all know the fragrance. It's one that's been compared to Aventus Cologne, even though it's kind of like a designer version with its own thing going on. This is one that I love during the transitional seasons, anywhere between like 30 to 70 degrees, although it's like an anytime fragrance. By Mont Blanc, it's Mont Blanc Explorer. It's woody, it's fresh, it's clean, it's just really, it's a statement maker. It's one of the best fragrances for the price that's out there, and I don't care what anybody says, Mont Blanc Explorer is great. A lot of people compare it to Aventus. I actually find it to be closer to Aventus Cologne in the opening. It has this kind of citrusy, gingery opening that you get from the Aventus Cologne, but then it kind of goes its own way, where it gets a little bit more of a fresh effervescence that you don't get from the other ones. It has a little bit more of a mass appeal than the other two, even though Aventus and Aventus Cologne are huge on mass appeal, obviously. It's woody, it's musky, it's fresh, it has a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's a really good fragrance. It has some nice little bit of spice, but yeah, Mont Blanc Explorer. It is great for the price. You can get this for $35 or $40 on Joma Shop. It's great. Obviously, if there's ever links for it, I'll post it in the community tab. But yeah, that is a really good one. Speaking of that, if you want to have something similar in that same style of fragrance, this one is great, especially if you get it on a Joma Shop sale or an Aura fragrance sale. This is Parfums de Marly Percival. Parfums de Marly Percival is the niche version, or the higher quality, longer lasting version and modernized version of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, or Mont Blanc Legend. They have that same style DNA. It's almost like an ambery, woody citrus salad with the ambroxan in there. There's ambroxan, there's amberwood, there's ambergris, there's all kinds of different ambery tones that provide this nice mixture. It's kind of like Parfums de Marly's take on that style of DNA, kind of in the same realm as this, as Elysium, but it kind of does its own thing. Again, this smells more along the lines of Fierce, Mont Blanc Legend, but I really like it because you can get it for $120 some on Joma Shop sale, and this is one that my wife really likes. Again, it has this nice citrus salad opening. The citrus isn't too heavy in it, but then you get to the dry down, it gets more of this like lavender and aromatics that come in. As you get more in, you get that more amber, that effervescent feeling from the woodiness, a little bit musky. Really good fragrance. One that is, again, another any season fresher style fragrance, but it's really good during transitional seasons. So that is one of the rolling themes here. Going into another one that's compared to all of those style fragrances, but I think this one sets itself way apart from any of the other ones. This is Mancera's Cedrat Boise. And I like this better than the Intense. Mancera Cedrat Boise Intense is a little bit too rich for me. Well, it still smells good. This one I love. And I know people either love or hate this stuff. And usually the people that don't like it get a lot of leather. I get leather in this, but for me, it is super well blended. When you first spray this on, it has this almost fruity, woody leather mixture. And the way that it comes across, the way that the fruits and the little bit of sweetness, it is super eclectic and unique, something that you don't get every day from any other fragrance. When I smelled Cedrat Boise for the first time, it didn't smell like any other fragrance, and to this day, there's still no other fragrances outside of Cedrat Boise Intense that smell like Cedrat Boisi. It is one of the best transitional season fragrances out there, if not the best, and you can get this for $76 on Venba Fragrance right now. It has a magnetic cap too. Really good, 4.2 ounces. I mean, It has that leathery tone. It's woody, but it has a little bit of a fruitiness in the opening. It has a little bit of a spice to it, a slight, almost ambery accord. It's fresh, it's clean, a little bit green. Cedrat is great, and this stays on your clothes for like days, man. I mean, Cedrat is fantastic. As far as these two, the performance is about 7 hours on this, and it's about 7 hours on that as well. Both of them are a little bit between moderate and above average, while Cedrat is a little bit over that, above average. Going into the next one, we're getting away from those style fragrances and getting into a few sweet ones. This one, Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky is, to this day, one of my favorite transitional season fragrances. And when I say transitional season, spring and fall is what I'm meaning. Usually when you're in between seasons like this video is calling for. This is really revolving around woods and plum with a nice little honey-like note underneath it. A little bit of spice. I believe it's like a cinnamon nutmeg mixture. But the plum in this is really what got me started on plum. It's a warm plum. It is a warmer fragrance. It has a little bit more of a youthful vibe to it, but it's really something that you can wear up to probably like age 50. I mean, it's a very easy wear fragrance. It's the college guy fragrance, but I really don't smell it on too many people around where I live, so it's great. My bottles are dirty. I need to clean them. But this is fruity. It is sexy. It is more for the night out, but during the cool weather, you can wear it at any time. During the warmer, like 70-degree days, I would more stick to a night out for this, but it's fruity. As you get to the dry down, it gets more woody, some spice. It is really nice, a little bit rich, really good fragrance. The plum in that is just, it's so unique. I really enjoy that fragrance. I know people were either hit or miss on that too. Now we're getting into one. And speaking of 1 Million Lucky, that's about 6 to 7 hours. It projects for the first 2 hours pretty nicely, but then it kind of becomes more of a closer to the skin scent, but still really nice. This one is one that is really underrated. People talk about all the other ones in the line, especially the Extreme, but they don't talk about this one very often. And I'm telling you, this might be the best one in the line, and it is, to me at least, the longest lasting in the line. This is Chanel's Allure Homme, the Eau de Toilette. Allure Homme Eau de Toilette sets itself apart from the line because it has pieces of the Allure Homme Sport, the Allure Homme Eau Extreme with that vanilla, like that sweetness, some of that like woodiness that comes off a little bit warm woods, and then it adds in the note of peach. And it took me until last year to finally get this, so I've only had this for like 6 months, but man, was I missing out that entire time. I always pass it up because I always thought it was going to be kind of crappy. I don't know why I ever thought that, because it's in the Allure Homme. It's what started that line. This is going to be sweet and fruity in the opening. It has a musky and warm woods base. It has that nice little sweet tone that you get from the Allure Homme line, that kind of aromatic sweetness. But this one is revolving around the note of peach, and it doesn't come off like a natural peach. Really, it just has a nice blend of peach in it. It's a very beautiful fragrance. It is great on pretty much, it's going to be one of those any season fragrances. But, I mean, it's fresh but clean, has a little bit of sweetness and warmth to it. Really, really nice and smooth. That is going to last about 7 hours. So even though Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme is known as the Extreme, it only lasts about 6 hours, and that one lasts about 7. So I would definitely go with that if you're looking for a better performing part of that line. I never would have thought the Eau de Toilette. Going into the last two. This one has to be on the list. It's one of my most worn fragrances, and this is one of the fragrances I've had since 1997. And honestly, I don't care about the performance. It's about 4 hours now. It used to be about 8, but then they finally kind of just started dwindling down. This is Hugo Boss Bottled. I mean, you can see I need a new bottle already. I bought this bottle 2 years ago. It is a fresh apple pie. It's like there's apple and cinnamon, but it doesn't really smell like a rich apple pie. It's almost like if you took the richness from an apple pie and mix it together with a little bit of this creamy sandalwood. This fragrance, I'm telling you, it's synthetic, whatever, but it is super mass appealing. This is, if my wife did a top 5 list, this is on that list, probably at number 1. Hugo Boss Bottled is fruity, it's creamy, it is sexy, it is anytime. You can wear it to work, you can wear it out on a date, you can wear it in really any situation. It's in the realm of like the Most Wanted, where you can, it's like a fresh sweet fragrance, and really like it. This is a little bit fresher than that, but And again, it only lasts 4 hours, but whatever. Carry the decant with you, put it in your car, whatever. The bottles, you can find them for like 30 to 40 bucks online. Anyway, going into the last one, this was my signature fragrance for 2022. This is a little bit more of a classier fragrance than some of these, but this is Dior Homme Sport 2021. This is a fresher, aldehydic take on the Dior Homme 20 DNA. It has that citrus, but a little bit of aldehyde, some pink pepper, just rocking at the opening. But this is going to be fresh, citrusy, and then it has that pink pepper and aldehydes, really just throwing through the entire fragrance with that Dior Homme 2020 DNA, that kind of woodiness underneath the whole thing. It is fresh, it's luxurious, but it's an anytime, any season wear fragrance. Really like to wear this. Now that it's not my signature anymore, because I like to maneuver through my fragrances, I like to wear this more during the spring and fall. It's a really nice fragrance for that. You can wear it to work, you can wear it on a date, just like pretty much any of the ones that are on this list. But this one is great. If you want a little bit more of a grown-up vibe to it, that's what this is. This and probably this are probably going to be the two most grown-up ones on this list. Maybe Explorer would be in there too. But yeah, really nice. So those are my 10. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some of your favorite transitional season fragrances whenever you're not quite sure what to wear because the weather's all over the place. Those are my 10. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will be back with another video. Peace out.